Flexercise programme aims to promote physical activity to older people. It is a training programme that teaches carers of older people the necessary skills and knowledge to provide simple physical activity sessions for their elderly residents or visitors. I joined Andrew Wilson in Evercreech near Shepton Mallet for a Flexercise session with a group of older people.
So we're going to start with a little warm-up. Remember how we started? We sit forward slightly on the chair and feet both flat on the ground, and we're just going to gently tap our feet.
A Flexercise session always starts with a warm-up. The aim of the warm-up is to mentally and physically prepare the body for the session. Andrew likes to start his warm-up from the feet upwards. Alternatively, it is possible to start from the top of the body and finish with the feet. He uses simple movements to mobilise all the joints and major muscles of the body. Flexercise has been successful in both the Mendip district of Somerset since 1993 and latterly throughout the county of Somerset since 1997. The success has been partly due to its focus on fun and enjoyment for participants, as you can see throughout the session.
Right, we're going to begin. We've got a nice big
After the warm-up, Andrew introduces a variety of activities which focus on fun. And, if you watch carefully, the activities he uses require varying degrees of movement from the participants.
The first time we used Flexercise was within a residential home setting, and that continued on an ongoing basis. I've also worked with occupational therapy in a day hospital setting, and that's an assessment unit for people who have got Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And again, it worked very successfully there. And I've also worked in an acute unit for people with Alzheimer's who their illness is much more advanced and they're a lot less capable of doing things than those of perhaps in a residential home or even in the day hospital. The Flexercise had to be tailored somewhat for that group of people because they're not capable of doing as much as they would have done in a residential home. But overall, Flexercise can be used from residential to acute units.
The use of balls and hoops, which are cheap and easy to obtain, make the session lively, fun and effective. You'll also notice that Andrew uses both visual and verbal instructions to help the participants understand what the activity requires.
We'll start with your right foot and then in a little while we'll switch to our left foot so that we get a chance to kick it with both. So, we'll start with you, Tina. Right foot, is that one? That's it. Oh, there you go.
Lots of activities can predominantly use the upper body, particularly those activities that use balls and hoops. But it is important to use the lower limbs as well to ensure that the whole body is exercised. Football is an excellent way to achieve some movement of the legs, but remember to ensure that both the right and left legs are used by participants. Andrew uses a variety of equipment, and for tennis, a balloon is essential. Balloons are excellent because they are easily seen, bright and colourful. They also move slowly, which enables participants to track their whereabouts before they make contact with them.
Flexercise can be arranged quite cost effectively. Things aren't all that expensive to buy, and the more expensive things that you might want to use can always be borrowed. But we basically started off with not a lot. I think I spent £10, involved the staff. They found it as much fun as the residents, and we found it to be very beneficial for getting a good conversation thing going. Once they needed more care and were perhaps one-to-one on their room, it gave them something to talk about for that day.
Andrew, throughout the session, really helped people to achieve their potential for each activity. In the hoopla, he can be found on his knees, not only helping the older people, but also getting a little bit of exercise himself. Coordination is an important part of these sessions, and the hoopla activity, although a little more sedate than balloon tennis, incorporates coordination. The hoopla session can also include an element of competition, if you wish.
Oh, it's so close, look! Oh!
Innovation and imagination are necessary requirements for all leaders of Flexercise. Andrew shows us how he has adapted hoopla into a novel activity in which everyone can be successful. Encouragement and praise are very important factors within a Flexercise session.
So you've all done really well.
Many participants will be better at some activities than others. It is important to ensure that they all feel confident even when they are not particularly proficient at an activity. This is one of the roles of the leader. Andrew demonstrates how he uses praise and encouragement to help everyone achieve and to enjoy the session.
You're good at that one, aren't you?
Using targets is another way of enabling some physical activity which incorporates fun. You don't have to buy expensive equipment. Equally effective could be a cardboard box turned upside down with some different sized holes cut in it. Andrew found his target game from a local shop which cost him very little money. He has also improvised with existing equipment to vary the game.
One of the things that people always feel with Flexercise, or if they hear about it, is like, oh, our residents wouldn't do that. But we've got a range of people from all walks of life, and all of them, without exception, have really enjoyed it. People might be apprehensive to begin with, but it's amazing. It brings down barriers, it builds a bond within the group that are involved in it, and it's just a fun time.
At the end of a Flexercise session, there must always be a cool down. The aim of the cool down is to gradually reduce the intensity of the session and to help participants relax. The parachute is excellent for this. However, the parachute can become quite energetic if the activities go on for some time. A variety of equipment can be used with the parachute, such as balloons, beanbags, and a little bit of your imagination.
I think my advice for anyone who wants to start a Flexercise group is to go with it, but to be very enthusiastic yourself and get your staff enthusiastic, because enthusiasm is contagious, and that's what we found to be really good. Is all the staff that we've had have really entered into it, and it's just swept through. It's been excellent.
Andrew finishes the session with some friendly waving using both arms and legs.
And your left hand. Whee! So when you get that parachute up, wave with both hands, let go, because if it comes to you, you're making the take. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, up, and let go! Tina, you're making the take.
He also adds a little refresher activity to finish with a few laughs and smiles.
And the back. Fast those muscles, pinch them a little bit. Forehead. And give yourself a big round of applause. You did really good.
Here are a few safety tips that are important to point out to your group in any Flexercise session. Whilst sitting in the chair, ensure that you think about your posture, your back straight, stomach in, shoulders back but relaxed. Whilst exercising your arms and legs, do not extend them away from your body for long durations of time. 2 to 5 seconds is sufficient. Alternate each arm and leg frequently. When exercising your neck, turn slowly to each side. Do not overstrain or tilt your neck backwards. When using the parachute, do not grip too tightly.
Relax it now.
Raise and lower the parachute 2 to 3 times before resting and repeating. When exercising your upper body, lean over slowly, bending from the hips. When passing the ball, beware of your posture, rotating slowly from the hips. Beware of overreaching, and do not keep your arms above your head for more than 2 to 5 seconds. Throughout the exercises, remember to breathe regularly and deeply.
You put your right arm in, your right arm out.
Remember that safety is extremely important throughout any Flexercise session. Every participant is different and they work at their own pace. Any discomfort felt, allow the participant to stop and rest and continue only if they feel okay. Monitor throughout their facial colour, their breathing rate, and ensure that relevant medication is close at hand. Above all, have fun.
In, out, in, out.
We're back to front. We're actually.
That's what it's all about.